Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather. There's 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 11th of March. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 for April. First opening salvo from CFS for April at the end of the video. And I should get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first video releases our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've also released Terry Scully's March and Spring 2024 forecast, and also January Friday as well. Please check out all today's videos and content, and like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks so much everybody for doing that. Going to be a channel member live stream coming up at 6 PM this evening. So if you're a channel member, and please check into your channel member live stream between 6 and 7 PM. No January Friday this week because I'm live at 8:30 with Weather Fans. I'm going to drop the link to Weather Fans channel into the description with this video, so please give them a sub, and you'll be able to hear me sitting back, relaxing, or letting somebody else worry about doing a live stream for a change. But I will be with Weather Fans at 8:30 this evening. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I say, please like, share, subscribe on all of Dave's videos and content. Thanks so much everybody for doing that. Right, okay, let's crack on with the video. I'm off to hospital this afternoon, got a hospital appointment, so trying to get everything, done and out of the way so that I've got the afternoon free. Right, here we go. Let's start our central temperature where we confirm that we have come out at 7.8. There it is. That is our warmest, mildest February since 1779. Absolutely unbelievable, and just 0.1 of a degree off equaling 1779, just 0.2 of a degree off beating 1779. But 1779 holds on by its absolute fingertips. It could not get any closer, really, could it? But it's just held on. Unbelievable. That is 4 degrees above the 61 to 1990 average. An extraordinarily warm and also very wet February. We're having a succession, have had a succession of very mild Februaries as well, of course, over the past few years. But that's absolutely amazing. 7.8, the warmest February CT since 1779. Well, now, of course, we've gone into March, and it's meteorological spring, and it's turned a lot cooler. So these were GFS upper air temperature precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're actually starting off around to a little bit below average over the next few days. It does look as though the second week of March we'll see the upper air temperatures ticking up, though, although we have got some cold outliers on some members just here, including the GFS midnight operation run. This thick green line here was at various portions one of the coldest options on the table. But the trend actually into the second week of March appears to be a warming one. It appears that majority of ensemble members are getting milder into the second week of March, and still lots of precipitation from start to finish. That never ends, does it? So regular rainfall still to come. Temperature anomalies from the 1st to the 9th of March around to a bit below average. Precipitation anomalies from the 1st to the 9th of March wetter than average for Ireland, England and Wales, drier than average for Scotland, though. Most of Western Europe looks quite wet as well, doesn't it, very interestingly. Latest wind from out from Earth from Old School. Next, so we've got another area of low pressure in over top of the country today. That's brought more heavy rain and some hill snow in with it. Okay, let's start going through the chart data. The latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Monday. So waiting for the next area of low pressure start moving in then. So the early part of next week looking wet and windy, particularly in the west. The middle to second half of next week, though, sees high pressure taking over across Scandinavia. We find this big area of high pressure builds around Scandinavia, winds pulling to the east, and they start dragging some really quite cold air from east. So by the end of next week, there's an increasingly cold and wintry look to the UK Met today. Even got a little puddle of minus 10 Celsius at 850 HPA there over northern Germany and the Low Countries, so potentially bringing in some snow showers from the east there by the end of next week. Icon, again, looking quite unsettled through the early part of next week. Plenty of wet weather to come. And then the middle to second half of next week finds high pressure taking over across the country and to our east, so that by the end of next week, this is next Friday, 8th of March, got a big blocking area of high pressure centering around Iceland and Greenland. And again, winds are coming in from an easterly direction. Nowhere near as cold, though, with the upper air temperatures with Icon, as we just saw with the UK Met. So there's a bit of a discrepancy about how cold it might get. Next week, UK Met looks quite cold and wintry. Icon, nowhere near as cold, but will be chilly and below average. The KMA looks like this, so almost of a muchness for the early part of next week, quite wet and windy. Then high pressure starts building to our north and east. Into the east goes the wind. Very unsettled, though, with further low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic into that cold air. Might be the chance of some snow, especially in the north, and then becoming milder with winds turning to southwest. So that's another option, that by the middle of March we're turning milder. But still, you'll notice, still low pressure in control, and so therefore unsettled. This for GFS midnight run. Now we know this from the ensemble graph is going to get quite cold. Let's see how that happens. Starting off through the early part of next week, looking relatively wet and windy. Then high pressure takes over to our northeast. So it is via that Scandinavian high that GFS midnight run starts to get cold. Winds turn into the east. And this is a proper long fetch easterly. If you follow the isobars back, the air is originating truly from Russia. So yes, we've got quite a large pool of very cold air across Scandinavia and northern Europe with minus 10 Celsius iceberg there, even perhaps nearly as low as minus 15 Celsius at 850 HPA. And that cold air starts getting pulled in from the east and the northeast as we get towards days 8, 9 and 10. Then the minus 10 Celsius iceberg begins to move over the North Sea in towards the eastern coast there, so that brings snow showers in with it, and a proper east-northeasterly wind there by day 10, looking very cold and wintry with that, and it stays very cold into the extended range as well. Those easy winds by that big blocking area of high pressure continuing. The upper air temperatures continue to look cold as well, and we'd be bringing snow showers from the east with these east winds. Eventually, the GFS midnight run ends up looking milder with winds start to turn into the south. But there is a little bit of shades of March 2013 about those charts from the GFS midnight run. We know, however, it is one of the coldest options, or it was one of the coldest options within the ECM ensembles. So this is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from GFS midnight run, I should say, from the weather outlook. What am I talking about? This is a precipitation forecast. Let's do that again. This is a precipitation type forecast based on that GFS midnight run from the weather outlook. No showers, long spells, rain, possibly a little bit wintry at times over the weekend. Into next week turns, well, actually, we bring some snow up on Sunday there into central and eastern regions, so I'm not sure about that. A little bit different from the GFS with that, but that looks quite safe for Midlands there, doesn't it, midday on Sunday? That's a surprise. See that turning up. Anyway, we go on into next week. There's further showers, if not longer spells of rain coming in then from off the Atlantic, and with winds from a southerly direction, it is turning milder, so precipitation towards rain. But then most easterly set in later next week, and they start to bring in the snow showers from the east. Don't take the snow areas too literally. Just a suggestion that we will bring in, snow on those east winds. That looks very snowy Monday the 11th of March. There's a low pressure coming up from the south into those easterly winds there. So all sorts of fun and games with that. Proper snow then across England or Wales. That's a long way off. It's beyond, or it's just at day 10. So very unlikely to verify. But if the wind does get into the east, the air is cold enough, then we know from like March 2013 that we can get considerable amounts of snow in the month of March there. Right, okay, bit of eye candy from the GFS midnight run. This is how GFS 6 is looking. Again, low pressure bringing an unsettled start to next week, then high pressure builds to east, winds turning in to the southeast, so nowhere near as cold with the upper air temperatures with GFS 6 compared to midnight run. Actually looking relatively mild with the upper air temperatures through into next weekend. It would still be chilly though with those easterly winds, you know, below level there will still be quite cold. Beyond that, well, low pressure starts breaking through then into extended, so just nowhere near as cold, nowhere near as wintry with the GFS 6. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Make sure you show everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our bits of content, and don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, GM, again, with low pressure. We need to put on around 70 subscribers, by the way, get to 18.1k. So, yeah, if you would give us a sub, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. Right, GM, again, low pressure bringing a relatively mild and wet start to next week, then high pressure taking over to the east, winds pulling into an easterly direction through next week. Again, not particularly cold with the upper air temperatures, but, you know, we'll definitely have a chill to them. And by next weekend, which is the 9th and the 10th of March, we do bring the -5 Celsius isotherm in from the east. Might be cold enough for a few wintry showers. That's day 10. Again, proper easterly then to day 10. And the upper air temperatures look cold. Actually getting colder to our east as well, with -10 Celsius isotherm. So it takes a little bit longer to get there, but the GM does eventually get to quite a significant cold easterly as we get towards days 8, 9 and 10. And then the ECM, it looks like this. So further spells of rain for the early part of next week. Then the high pressure takes over across country and to our east. Winds are going into more of a southeasterly with the ECM. Again, nowhere near as cold with the upper air temperatures, relatively mild upper air temperatures down in the south actually, and that's a setup at day 10. Again, relatively mild with the upper air temperatures across England and Wales. Cold patch for Scotland. Winds are in from the east, but the origins of the air is more south of these, you see. So it makes a great difference whether the easterly is the origin of the air is like coming in from north of east, and if it does, then it will get cold. That's what the GFS Midnight Run is doing, for example, and the UK Met. Or whether the wind is coming in from south of east. If wind comes in from south of east, then the upper air temperatures will be relatively mild. It might still feel quite cold on the surface, due to the wind being from the east and coming off the continent, but it'll be like a dank, cloudy, you know, clagging sort of drizzly type easterly wind, and not overly cold. So where the origins of that easterly are coming from, always a very important factor. This is a precipitation forecast based on that in Chevron from TomatoShow.com. So further wintry showers into the weekend, then next week brings wet weather into the west, where it starts turning dry as the high pressure takes over to the east. And as we get towards day 10, well, that's the confirmation. We've just got like showery rain, drizzly rain across the country. Just cold enough for a little wintriness across the eastern parts of Scotland, and some quite wet weather coming into the southwest. But you know, it would be very dull and damp with that easterly. Right, okay, these are the upside table in the ECM Ensemble Day 4, Day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 11th of March. 18 members of the ECM Ensembles have high pressure to the north and low pressure to the south. Winds will be coming up from a southeasterly type direction. So again, that's unsettled but not overly cold. We've got 18 including the control and the operational run with high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south, almost bringing the wind from a proper easterly direction. And then we got 15 with, again, high pressure somewhere around Greenland, Iceland, low pressure south, and again, winds coming in from the east with that. That's probably, the 15 they're probably going to be the coldest with the with more of a northeasterly, I guess. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. We get us to the 16th of March. 18 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure blocking around Greenland, and winds will be coming in from the northeast with that, low pressure to our east and south. That looks like it could be quite cold and wintry. We've got another 18, low pressure to the east, high pressure to the west. Winds will be coming in from a northerly direction. And then we've got 15 with high pressure over the side to the north, country mainly dry, and winds again probably again coming in from that sort of southeasterly type direction. CFS V2 finally for April. This is the opening salvo from a CFS for April. So these change daily, of course. Today's idea option has low pressure right over top of the UK island, with again quite a large amount of northern blocking away to the north. The temperature anomaly is slightly above average, and precipitation weak signal, but looks relatively wet, particularly so to our west. We shall see. Okay, that's it for today's videos and content then. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I'll just tell you what's happening on my channel tomorrow. Again, please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you've enjoyed this video and all of today's videos. I just know what's happening on my channel tomorrow. 6 AM UK weather forecast, EC40s 2 day for UK and Ireland, weekend forecast, and also 10 to 14 day. So lots to come tomorrow. Sunday, we've got our first summer update, actually. The long range bandwagon rolling on again, and we're up to summer updates. Update number 1 on Sunday. That is after the 6 AM forecast. It'll be live at 6 PM on Sunday, which is 10 to 14 day. So lots to look forward to this weekend. And again, just to say, no pub run live tonight, but I will be with Weather Fans at 8:30. You can find a link to Weather Fans channel in the description with this video. And I'll share it across the socials, you know, just for the live stream with Weather Fans as well. And there will be a channel member live stream at 6 PM, as always, on the first Friday of the month. I will have a channel member live stream. So if you are a channel member and you are around the channel at 6 PM, then check in, and you'll have your channel member live stream coming up then. So you enjoy the rest of your Friday. I say I'm off for a hospital appointment this afternoon. But, you know, I'm sure it'll be all right. And I shall see you either for a stream or for a video or something over the next few days. Whatnot. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Bye for now.